It's a good day out today, yeah. My food's here. Shit.
All right. We are live.
Pull
away from
that.
So
Don't worry, Harry, we'll make John regret this. When this session pops off and you start getting the YouTube views rolling in, we'll fuck him.
Yeah.
Sexual style.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will, I don't know when you
Yep,
came back in the
metaphor.
at what point you came back in the middle of that, but
Tail end.
John is he is not DMing in Tragedy of War anymore.
Okay.
So just so everyone else knows, I do think it sucks, but ultimately the decision is made.
John's doing his own thing now.
Yeah. And there's
That's a rude thing to say about Alma.
There's some narrative stuff for
That's what I'm
sure
saying
that I
for
might
you.
have to tweak, but and the workload will be different, but I think I can do all of it, so we're gonna see how that goes.
Well, if you need any help planning, Harry, I'm free.
Okay. I'll hit you up, bro.
No, you're not.
What do you mean, Will? My schedule is super open right now.
Yeah. So are your legs.
Why are you trying to get in?
Ooh.
Guilty as charged. Kenna just grins at the camera. Okay. So welcome back to Tragedy of War. This is session 36. 36. Pretty wild. This is usually the range, I feel like, in which campaigns come to a close. So we're gonna push through it, and we're gonna
The last session.
hit the triple dick. Yeah, this is the final session. Everyone can just turn off the cameras, go home now.
Final session till next semester.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be back for school, baby.
We're actually going to take a
Celebrate.
couple of puzzle hiatuses here and there, and
What's that?
Cannon's dick would be so unfathomably hard.
What the fuck?
I love the puzzle.
oh
Matt,
no,
you don't
when I
think
said
that Cannon's dick would be unfathomably hard?
when I said that, I
Dude, you
mean
see
like
how
taking a year
Cannon-
between sessions. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah,
No, no,
no,
we're
we're
gonna, I wasn't in question of that.
We're gonna take a break and we're gonna play Tragedy IRL, but we're gonna play on Zoom and we're all gonna sit on the floor
Stop.
and we're gonna roll actual dice on actual maps. Harry's gonna send
Webcam
us
has to
all
be
a
on
map
to
in
see
the
the dice
mail,
from
The candle.
so we can all have a map to play on together.
And then I'm going to send you duplicates of everyone's tokens so everyone
Yeah.
can move them at the same time according to the board you see on my
It's gonna
camera.
take a lot of bottle caps.
Perfect.
Harry's actually sponsored with a local bar to help the bottle cap train roll.
Every drink you take in a tavern, you have to drink in real life.
There's this local guy. He just comes around and picks up. He doesn't order anything. He just comes and picks up bottle caps.
We tried that already, Matt. It didn't work out too well. Okay. So, yeah, session 36 of Tragedy of War will kick it off with a recap.
Recap.
Last time on Tragedy of War.
Dun dun dun.
The session began with the faithful few arriving on the shores of the Utale Nation to the east of the city of Safeguard, after saying farewell to their dragonborn companion, Katsu.
Disgusting.
They came to find that the lands of the Utale Nation are a series of horrid and decaying bogs beneath an endless necronimbus storm. With no signs of Jorma, or any Utale for that matter, Rolland led the way deeper into the lands, bringing the party to Fort Baeon, an old safeguard outpost built during their occupation of the land. Unlike everything else in this place, the fort was still standing, but it was swarming with undead. The main gate into the fort was blocked by a horde, so the party elected to scale the walls with the help of Brelikk and his rod. However, when they reached the top of the wall, Brelikk immediately knocked a barrel off the top of the wall, crashing down to the streets below, revealing their location to the undead. Whoopsies. As the chaos
Not poggers.
ensued and the undead approached, Khanek noticed Jorma atop one of the buildings across the courtyard from them. Khanek shouted to Jorma for assistance and direction, but Jorma took one look at them, turned his back, and jumped down a chimney, disappearing from sight. And so the party was left to fend off the horde, which they were able to make quick work of thanks to Alex and his miraculous ability to force feed undead ale until they explode. Who knew?
Yummy.
A surprising tool at his disposal, one which was not known or ever seen before.
You ever seen that video of SpongeBob when he gets the sun? I feel him.
He filled them up good.
Yummers.
Yummers. With the horde dealt with and filled with ale, the party quickly followed after Jorma. After some frantic knocking on the building, the door was opened for them to enter. On the other side, an Utale wearing the armor of an enforcer by the name of Keokan stood before the party. Jorma was there as well, speaking with a distrusting Utale called Mariak. Mariak didn't seem to like the fact that Keokan let you all inside, calling you infected. Keokan defended his decision, then diffused the situation the best he could. Jorma asked about his brothers and their whereabouts. At Mariak's silence, Keokan broke the news that they only knew where one of his brothers were. Joran, Jorma's middle brother, was presumably still in Fort Baeon, if he had not yet turned from the infection. They weren't sure exactly how much time he had left. Joran quarantined himself in the dutiful drink across the courtyard to wait out the rest of his days. The session ended with the faithful few and Jorma entering the dutiful drink, just as Khanek and Rolland received some troubling necromantic news regarding heritage.
Damn Heritans. What do the people of Heritage
Who's gonna
call
break the
themselves?
news, gentlemen?
Sons of Heritage. Or that's what the soldiers call themselves. Anyway.
Like just the citizens.
Yeah.
Heritans?
Heritans.
Probably Heritagians.
Heretics.
I like Heritagians. Sounds pretty polite.
Master Rolland! Master Rolland! We need to catch up with the others!
Oh, okay,
This
sure.
is my take on Vopa.
Oh, it's perfect.
Go, go, go!
Okay, okay, I'm moving.
Okay. So,
We are leaving.
Jorma, you'd have... well, let's scene transition here. I got ahead of myself. Actually, we don't want to go to that scene. Oh, there's so many assets on this map.
Oh no, the chanting begins.
The chanting has begun, Jack. Where you been? Activate.
No, but it's getting louder.
This should be darker. Something more sinister. This is far too happy. Can't go wrong with burning inside when the guy decides to moan right at the beginning. There we go. Alright. So, we'll just say for cohesion, Rolland and Khanek bring up the rear to the party as they enter the dutiful drink across the way. It's like not complicated where it was. It's actually fairly close to the building that you guys found shelter within.
It's
just
all within the
across-
fort, right?
Yeah, it's just across the courtyard in the fort. And you know, you imagine that not all of the buildings are very safe in this, but even as you look at this building from the outside, it looks to be pretty fortified. Like at one point it was used by some Utale survivors. Bajorma, the door is... You place your hand on the handle, and the door is unlocked. Do you proceed?
Oh yeah.
Alright. You lead the way, and the rest of the group rounds the bend behind you. Alex kind of squeezes through the door, taking off a bit of the frame as he stands a little bit too early, and just knocks part of it off with his metal shoulder.
Yeah, you're big, Alex.
Kind of looks at the fallen piece of frame and then trudges inside with everyone else. And you find yourself in a pretty dark interior. It's hard to tell the time of day, I guess, but you would all know it to be... Let's see. Yeah, it would be late still. You guys kind of arrived at nighttime to this little undead extravaganza.
It was a mesh.
Bonanza.
It was a monster mash. It was a smash.
And so the inside of this building, pretty dark. And as you step in further, you leave the groaning of the dead outside, of which they are still around. You just, you cleared the way pretty substantially before. It only took like 10 minutes for you guys to have that conversation in the other buildings. So, there's flashes of light just barely sneaking through the boarded windows from the storm outside. Rainfall as well. Still just barely audible. That's a little bit too audible. There we go. There's unknown stains spattered across the floorboards, as there typically are in taverns, but given the state of this place, you can only assume that the
What color are these stains?
They're red and brown
okay.
and dark brown. You imagine that the stains follow the smell because it is just rotten in here. It's awful. Worse, much worse than the other building you guys were in. You imagine that there are a number of dead bodies within this place. Though, whether or not you can see them, I suppose depends on
Dead.
dark vision. But yeah, also dead with air quotes.
Dead.
They can
Brelikk,
always
make
be
an Arcana
reanimated.
check. Right, yeah.
Me?
Or a nature check,
Sure.
whichever one is.
Arcana or nature.
yeah, pick-
since they're
pick
both
your poison.
intelligence, they're both gonna be a +0, baby.
That's what's funny about it.
I'm feeling.
You feeling
We'll
lucky?
do nature. I'm feeling lucky. Let's do nature. Oh boy. It's a
Yeah,
lot of blood.
Yeah,
you
would.
can see them for sure. You see like, just the shapes of bodies laid out on the floor, decomposing. Probably been there for a while. Not skeletons, but they're definitely Utale. And
Mhm.
You think that they could rise at any moment.
I stand 10 feet back away from the bodies. I'm like, I don't know if they're going to get up again.
But there is a flickering light, a single flickering light in the darkness, and it's quite faint. It's right on the counter, the bar of the dutiful drink. A lantern right on the edge. Seems, has to have been recently lit.
Yeah.
But you don't see anyone immediately nearby. And the light...
Is it just me?
No, everyone is in
okay,
in the tavern at this point. Yeah. They're just they're ruminating in the
Harry,
maybe, I don't know. Khanek, yeah.
I go up to one of the dead bodies.
You go up to one, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
I pull out the lighter.
Okay.
I attempt to light it on fire and see what happens.
Jorma sees you do this and he's stopping you.
Okay,
What
so
does he do in game? What is Jorma doing to stop me?
Yeah.
I'll grab your hand before you can pull it down the bodies.
An experiment. A necessary thing to do, Jorma. I move the lighter to my other hand and continue.
you tried to stop him a
Khanek,
second time.
I don't think it wise to just burn his people,
Especially
even
when-
though they may or may not be undead.
We do not burn these people.
Khanek, your
They've already been
curiosity is
burned
kind
once
of
before.
Nice.
Well, I can see why this land has deteriorated so much. I put my lighter away.
Harry,
Okay.
would Roland know anything about like undead, and maybe how you're supposed to treat bodies and stuff like that? Like, does he think that Khanek's idea might be actually just a good idea?
Make a religion check. In terms of,
Perfect.
you've dealt
As
with
Khanek would do that, I would tap on Alex and I'd say, "That guy's so fucking weird. I'm telling you." I'd whisper that.
Goes back down here. I got nothing to say to that.
I know, right?
Oh shit! I need to talk to Kev at some point. Fuck. About the ring.
I'm always
I don't-
unreachable. You can never talk to me.
He's
I-
always
like-
so many worlds away.
I mean,
It's a religion, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna step back from
Dog.
the situation of Rolland, Khanek, and Jorma.
Mainly
Yeah, you're
because
afraid.
Back of the group.
it's mainly religion because you would inherently know that death has a very significant, is very significantly tied to the procession, religious processions and things, ceremonies
Mhm.
that you would set up for the dead upon their departure from the world.
Right.
And you'd know that they would typically, typically have a priest, in any circumstance, gentle repose the body, so that it makes certain that, and this is something that is done on a weekly basis, like it's just a general practice of the church to defend the dead's honor and rights to not be brought back, as they think necromancy's pretty uncool.
Right.
But
We hate necromancers.
you'd know that this is basically Safeguard's way of handling the problem that is undeath, because other places have different ways of handling this, like Gale,
Yeah.
for instance, in that they just burn the bodies so that they don't come back. Safeguard has a more, I guess, humane way of going about it, or something that preserves more who the person was and their remains and stuff like that. So
Yeah, for sure. And that, okay. Wait, are these bodies more? They're like the Utale people, right?
yep, they look Utale. They got the tribal tattoo. They have the tattoos, telltale tattoos, and they're definitely Goliath.
Jorma,
There don't look to
How
be
do
any other kind of
you-
people here.
how do you treat your dead, Jorma?
And Jorma looks back and didn't realize that you were here. And
Caught up.
got up. Big sprint. He kind of looks back and does not look happy that you're here at all.
That's so
He's kind of jostling with if he wants to answer or not, and he'll stay silent.
Lamau.
You look nothing.
Look for my brother.
Safeguard. I look at Khanek and I say, Safeguard generally opposes these bodies so that they may not turn after they're killed. If that relic was given to you by the church, by Sister Istri, perhaps it has some radiant properties or something. I say
My
it's worth a
thoughts
try.
exactly. I was thinking, your god Aewa. Of course, if her gift is true, then this must be a moment in which its use is appropriate.
Perhaps it's worth a try.
Roland, you do kind of
prepare gentle repose today.
Roland, you do kind of think
Oh my god.
it is a fire indoors.
But perhaps not inside.
As it might catch. But
No, these are radiant flames.
In this rain,
why would the flames of Aewa burn down a building?
Yeah,
You
come
just-
on.
you
she's
just-
like
you don't know
she's
the-
like good and shit.
Yeah. Right. She's
Have
like
some holy water on around. It won't
just
catch
the
fire.
power of Christ compels you as you're walking around.
Well,
Do you do it anyway, Khanek?
is Jorma watching?
I'm in the
He
room.
walked
Most
away to look
assuredly.
at his brother, right?
He did, yeah.
I'm just walking around. I'm in the same place as you are, though.
All right, well, it's too late. He walked away. I do it.
You burn a single body, I'll cut you to pieces.
Is that what Jorma says?
Yes.
but it's he's not burning them. He's showing them Aewa's light.
Is it? I assure you. The rain outside, it makes it difficult for these tests of burning. Only here in this dry environment can we proceed.
Khanek says through bloodied bandages.
Usually Khanek is very persuasive. I'm not
Takes out the
persuaded
cowboy
at all
hat.
on this decision.
I am warning you. You banana fuck.
Is that what Jorma says?
Oh, I got the second part, but that just makes me laugh.
No, he's committed it.
That's funny.
Ah, very well. Your lands, your rules. But I see in your future, your lands will belong to the dead.
That is not much of a change. Roland made it so.
Something.
Ain't that right, Roland?
Oh, she!
Bring Roland
She! Ooh. Oh, shit.
Ah, yes. I clearly shoulder the blame of my superior's decisions before myself. Of course.
Yet you lap at their feet like a dog.
I'm here, aren't I?
Where were you then? You show
Not
up now
by
and wish
shores.
for you wish for
I was on the
gold
front
star.
lines of another war, one your people didn't want to help with.
My people
What?
could not help.
And Jorma's voice, all of your voices are echoing throughout the inside of this tavern. It's basically just you all, seemingly, making these noises, making these sounds. And, you hear, Jorma's voice trail off, and then grunts. Coming from the far side of the room, beyond the light of the lantern, seemingly was behind, like, an overturned table. It kind of very slowly stands in a very hunched posture. This, even while hunched, seems like a mountain of a man. And the silhouette turns toward you. There's like a glint of lantern light in his eye. And it takes one unsteady step toward you all, the floorboards creaking one after the other. It approaches, the sticky slaps of its bare feet against the floor. And those who can see it with dark vision would see it beforehand, but for dramatic effect, it steps into the light of the lantern.
Ooh. I have a feeling.
It is very disheveled Utale man, shirtless,
So ugly.
black and blue wounds seeping down its skin. His veins show through this kind of sickly green color. There's blue bile staining his mouth and chin, trickling over this very unkempt beard. And his hands are painted red with this fresh blood. And in one of his hands, he holds what looks to be just a chunk of flesh. And he's adorned with all of these tribalistic trinkets and tattoos. One necklace in particular, Rolland, looks to be a very homemade, makeshift pendant to Aewa. Jorma, despite his sickly complexion, you recognize your middle brother, Joran.
Oh god.
And upon seeing you, he drops the hunk of flesh, and it splatters onto the floor. No! Why are you here, Jorma?
I'll run up to him.
Jorma gets himself killed and infected right here.
No.
And
No.
you see him wobble like he loses his balance. And what do you... He loses his balance and he kind of falls
I catch him.
to the... You support him as he falls.
Yeah,
and
I hold his.
you catch him and he stays up and he just...
I'm here, brother. I've made it.
So you have. And he spits off to the side. Just this globular blue goo landing onto the floor, adding to the stains. How long has it been since you left, Jorma?
Been too long, but I'm back now. I'm here.
Oh. It shouldn't be. I thought we told you to go.
It just didn't feel right. I had to come back. I couldn't leave and watch all of you die, and I couldn't live like that.
He's hunched and his arm is over around you, and he still looks down to you with these glazed eyes, and he gives you a look that you haven't seen from Joran very often. Even through the sick complexion, it looks to be one of respect, but he doesn't look very happy about it. Set me down. Set me down somewhere.
I'll kind of ease him over to like a bar stool or whatever's, or a booth, whatever's closest.
And he kind of very unrhythmically step, like as he hobbles over to the chair, and then he kind of just falls into it.
I look back towards Alex. Can you save him? Alex kind of shrugs and walks over. And Alex will try.
What is this? Who did you
Hold on, brother.
bring, Jorma? Who are these outsiders?
They are. They followed me. I had more important things to tend to than to fight them off.
Rolland's eyes narrow.
Alex will try to cast Greater Restoration.
Okay. Yeah.
And see if that works, but
Yeah, go ahead. If you want to make a medicine check, as anyone can, looking upon this guy, just to see how bad this is,
I'll
with the
have,
extent of the oh,
Damn.
scanning for STDs. Beep boop.
You said what kind of check, Harry?
Medicine.
Oh, poggers.
Also, it says I can't,
Drink the elixir.
medicine, Joron. You'll
it
feel
says I
much
can't
better.
use my spell because it's not targeted. Yeah, I'll throw a random token on the board. Okay.
Me.
Yeah, so,
Alex with the greater restoration? Poggers?
Alex, you immediately step to the task of helping this man instinctively with your ale. You would garner that there are probably a number of things wrong with this man. It doesn't look like it's any one affliction, but you're able to discern the what you would call, I guess, trench rot, the creeping plague, and grave grub.
Let's
you see
go.
discoloration, almost like a mossy texture growing on the top of his bald head. And you feel as though with this greater restoration, with the means at your disposal, you are going to cure him of at least one of those things. And it would probably help one of the others, but it might not get rid of it completely.
Do I know this before I cast mine as well?
Yeah, you would know this, yeah, beforehand with your nat 20.
All right. Alex will, instead of casting it, Alex will look down at Jorva and, with hesitancy, Jorva will look up and he goes, "Why aren't you doing it, robot? Save him!" And Alex looks down and kind of somberly shakes his head. Rests his hand on his shoulder.
And Joron would just be incredulously, like, looking between them through bleary eyes. Where did you find this thing?
Doesn't matter now, brother. I'll look back at Alex, and Alex is already walking away, thinking about how, or trying to compute kind of how things don't work out, thinking back towards the Pegasus a little bit.
Yeah.
He'll walk back towards
the Pegasus
Cav. And I'll look at his brother. Brother, I'm sorry.
You did what you were told.
But I shouldn't have. I should have tried.
They wound up like me if you stayed.
Better than living like this.
Living.
I haven't thought about it. Thought about it every day. How I left. Where everyone is now.
Kind of puts his head in his hand and he just strokes his forehead. Living, Jorma.
No, it's not. I can't live with this. I wasted so much time. I should have been back here sooner. I spent weeks wasting time helping out an ungrateful son of a bitch, and where is he now?
Who's the ungrateful son of a bitch?
You can assume.
Oh,
It got me nowhere.
duh, yeah.
I thought I could cheat it by finding greater entities and all this. I should have just came here. I shouldn't have believed that anyone else could help.
Well, you came just in time. Never thought I'd see you again. And he kind of looks up to you from the chair. He's got a small cracked smile. And he kind of looks back down to the floor. Didn't want you to see me like this, to be honest. After you left, we did what we could. We moved into these walls. And fought off the dead best we could. Me and George. But they just didn't stop coming. We would strike them. Kind of motions with his arms, but you can tell it's very weak by comparison to how you once knew him. And they just get right back up. And he mentioned the name George, and at that mentioning, you know he's the oldest brother, and you haven't seen him since you've been in the fort.
Where is he now?
The look on his face kind of says it all, you feel like.
Burma kind of gets a little weak in the knees. He kind of catches himself.
We were safe in the walls for a few weeks. George found out what was causing the storm and how to end it. At least he thought so. I told him not to go, but you know how he is. Left the fort a week ago. After that, kind of trails off. Implied Seems like everything just went to shit after George left.
Got a little too curious.
Right. The storm wasn't always this bad. After he left, it got worse. Much worse. The dead grew in number, and the storm weakened the gates. Dead broke through, so we barricaded ourselves inside. I got bit the day Kaokan arrived, trying to get him inside. Been here just waiting to die.
There's no way for you to go.
Didn't think that anyone in the group could, well, figured the fort was the safest place. Until it wasn't.
You see a tear kind of go down Jorma's. Starts going to his eye, and he quickly wipes it.
George saw
I'm
you
so
doing
sorry.
that shit. He'd kill you right now.
Jorma kind of smiles a little bit.
You were always a softie.
Someone had to be for Mom.
Yeah.
She'd be proud of you. And George.
Kind of just nods his head very lightly. Kind of flares his nostrils. Haven't thought about her in a while.
Now don't you go crying on me.
Yeah. And you note that he mentioned George. He had like a theory as to what was going on, but he didn't mention what.
You know which way George went.
Kind of burps on some flesh. Sorry.
Ew.
No worries.
He head on up into the monuments. What do you call them? I don't remember the word for this. Weatherstone. Or the shrines to Luez up on the mountain tops. There's one on Mount Ukarana to the north. Overlooks the whole fucking, the whole nation. That's where he went. Thinks something corrupted it. Someone. And he went there to put an end to it.
George always did follow his gut. And he was generally right. I'm going there.
What?
I had to stop the storms.
You've grown, little brother. You've grown.
I cannot run again.
I can tell you've made up your mind already.
I've always been stubborn.
We all are in our own ways. I really don't know what's up there.
Doesn't matter what's up there.
Are you prepared for that uncertainty, Jorma? In the prowess of the group you have here.
I kind of take a quick glimpse back at the group.
You are going to need them, Jorma. Whether you think so or not.
I can't stop them from following, but I'm not forcing them.
Drawn then kind of with almost like a directionless stare around the group. His sight lands on you, Brelikk. For one reason or another. You have your own intuitions. And he puts his hand on the armrest of the chair and he pushes himself up. You can see the muscles. It almost looks like in his arm, like twinging as he pushes, like unnatural flexing.
I like helping to his feet.
And he has like you can see that he's hiding winces behind like a jutted out jaw, and he kind of hobbles toward you more rhythmically this time. And he gets as close as you let him, and while hunched, he looks down to you and he says, "Just get him back alive." And he holds out a hand, a bloodied hand, the one that was holding a chunk of flesh.
I shake it.
And you feel
You.
almost everything in his grip, his whole arm, like flexing into the motion as he drops the hand. Thank you. Losing one brother is hard enough. And he, with just the most despairing expression, kind of turns back to Jorma. And he reaches around his shoulders to the rope draped bone trinkets that are kind of on his neck. One of them is his I guess Utale ceremonial necklace for being the second born, the 2 teeth, and then the pendant, the makeshift pendant to Aewa. He hands them over, or he holds them out to you. You're gonna need all the luck you can get.
I'll take them. Put them around my neck.
And as he's handing him over, he kind of grabs your wrist and you grab your wrist, and you know that he's referring to the pendant of Aewa when he says this. I don't do it for them. And the bones of the necklace kind of clack together. We look out for ourselves.
We always have.
And he lets go of you. You take the necklaces. And he takes a deep breath. Kind of as deep as he can. His breathing is very labored and very loud. And he goes and he sits back down in the chair. I really thought when we started this, all we wanted was to be independent. An Utali nation. Perhaps we overestimated ourselves, Jorma. Perhaps we were not ready quite yet. And to see him in this way, Jorma is very, what do you call it? Shattering for you in your image of Joran from before you left. One of the fiercest warriors you ever knew, even more so than George, despite having the age difference. Joran was just this beast of a man who sits in this chair covered in blood on the brink of undeath. Defeated, seemingly. Not just physically, but in his ideas as well. The Utale nation is dead to him.
We were ready, brother.
Harry, I thought you were going to pull a Loki where you're like, I didn't do it for the Utali people, Jorma. I did it for you.
Would've been good.
Very good. So does Jorma start weeping? What do we see from Jorma here? What happens?
Is he passed on?
He's not dead,
Oh,
but like he seems like he's living still, and that he probably won't die, like today, but you know, any day thereafter seems like he could croak. You can tell he's going through like a changing process, like because he's still alive and he was bit. Like eventually his mind will be lost and he'll become part of the Horde. If Alex deems unable to help him, which he has. But with Alex's nat 20, he would you know, like he, with that restoration, like it would cure some of what ails him, and that would definitely help. It might just take more time than what you seem to have right now, meaning that if Alex wanted to fix him, he feels like he could, given enough time. I don't know if I conveyed that completely.
yeah, I
before.
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Jorma will look to his brother. Is this how you wish to go? Becoming one of the Horde?
Wasn't how I thought I'd go. But the way I am now, I can't. I would only be a burden.
Are you in pain, brother?
And he kind of adjusts his posture as you ask him that question. And he kind of looks at you with that respect once more. I am.
I can end this, you know.
I think I'd rather I think I'd rather drink my days away. Maybe the next time I wake up, it'll be over.
Must be playing with your mind. This is not the Juron I know. He would not sit down and wait to die.
Yeah, maybe it's the... Maybe it doesn't want me to die. So I can... come back as one of them. And he kind of searches the floor for answers. And then he looks back to you. And will say... Yes, brother. I've made my peace. You're all witnessing this interaction. Everyone knowing what is being talked about here.
Yeah, how audible is all of this?
It's right in the middle of everything. Not a secret.
When he said he's at his piece, he just meant drink himself to death, right?
No, he's insinuating that he would be that he's ready to go.
Yeah, I feel like Jorma's been trying to feel that out too.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
Jorma's
Yeah.
I was making sure we were on the same page.
Yeah,
Jorma
like,
raises his blade and his brother's. Wait, what are you? No, 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 no.
I feel like in a way too, it's
that's
like,
not what I meant.
like it's weird to be asking your brother, right? Like, I could end it now, but it's sort of like I don't want to see you turned into one of the fucking undead.
Yeah.
Could
Like,
end this
right?
right
Like,
now.
I'll kind of take out a kukri. And I'll look at him. Are you sure?
He nods and he stands, hobbling, and then catching his stance and pushing himself upright. And he seems to just kind of be continuously nodding. And his eyes are very distant, but he bends, kind of leans down, and puts his forehead against yours. Just find the heart, Jorma.
I will stop those storms, brother. Can't Jordan this time cannot swipe the tears away from his eyes as they are coming down a bit too quickly than before.
Yeah. I know you will.
Say hi to Mom for me.
And do you drive it in?
Yep, right to the heart.
Okay. The moment your kukri pierces his flesh, it's met with this pooling, just corrupted liquid, decaying, what do you call it? Spillage just coming out all onto your hand over the kukri, and you can see you're kind of holding him as you stab.
Yeah, I definitely hold like ease his body down.
Yeah. And he maintains eye contact with you for as long as he can. For about 5 solid seconds. Until they aren't seeing you anymore. They're seeing past you. They're just open. And they dilate. And the weight of his body gives out and falls into your arms as you lower him down to the floor.
I will,
And you pull the kukri out.
yeah. I will sheath the kukri. I will, wipe the tears from my eyes, and then I will reach into my pocket and take out the pennant that Sister Eastery gave me.
Mm-hmm.
I will lift up his head and put it around his neck. And
Nice.
then I will look up to the ceiling, and I will whisper under my breath, "If you are up there, make sure this one gets there safely." I'll turn away.
Do we think this is a good soul cage candidate, or
Mike, just
Oh
Kev, instantly. Soul
God,
cage.
no.
Ugh.
No,
And
no.
you hear Joran's final when he's
Soul
on the
cage.
floor as the air leaves his body in the death rattle. And you're all just kind of in that room with Jorma in that moment, and you know that just happened. You can't imagine how difficult of a decision that might have been for some of you, given your various origins and cultures. But for Jorma and Joran, it almost seemed natural, mutually understood. And this silence kind of washes over the room.
I will walk towards the door.
I'll walk towards the door as well.
In the light of the lantern flickering, Joran's body just lays on the floor of the tavern. And Jorma turns, leaves, and heads for the door. And everyone follows.
Yeah.
as we're leaving, I'd like tap on Alex and I just ask, do you think he was only affected by diseases?
I'm assuming the ones you said, one of them was a curse, right? At least 2 of them were curses, I believe.
Well, there's the curse of undeath. That's there for sure.
I don't remember if Grave Grub from the puzzle was a curse or if it was a...
Grave grub's a disease.
Disease. Okay.
Trench rot is a disease. And the other one. They were all diseases except for the curse of undeath.
Alex will shake his head then.
One could assume that it's like the way undeath works is it's like a disease that infects you, but I don't know, it's like something past that. Like once the
Wait, couldn't Rolland have like fixed him with enough lay on hands?
well, that's
Cannon,
I
you're
mean,
muted.
by all accounts, I think.
I could help, but I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, like it's 5 per. I only have 2 levels. You know, I can only do. Essentially-
Oh, you're not full paladin. That's right. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
healing is dog ass. Never mind.
Yeah. It's basically a spot
Yeah,
job.
because if you were 12th level paladin, you could pump like fucking, six. Yeah, like 12 amounts of like,
12 condition cures. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 cures of condition. You could be like, heal, heal, heal. You could try 12 different antibiotics on this guy.
And so, one thing that Joran mentioned, Jorma, was he mentioned shrines to Luez, which is a name you haven't heard in a bit, but you know it's the you only know it. Let me back up. The Utale people are generally like atheistic people. They're kind of driven by their culture and their traditions and their ceremonies. But you know that at one point they did not live alone. Before all this, before the Cataclysm, you've heard stories of the Utale living with giants harmoniously, kind of as one tribe. And that is said to be the origination of the Goliath as well as descendants of giants. At some point along the way in the Cataclysm during the separation, the giants and the Utale, lost each other. Now it's said that the giants are in heritage, and the Utale are now in this land, besides Safeguard. And this was back when they lived together. It was back on in the world of Luez, which you've heard tales of. The shrines to them, the Weatherstones, is what he said, which is for everyone else in the party. This would only
We
be
know what
known
they
to
are.
them by
Of course.
what happened in Bedlam. But for Jorma, yeah, these are you have some other knowledge on them in that they were used by the giants as shrines to worship Luez. In that they tied the control of weather and the origination of these stones all the way back to when the worlds were first created, or when Luez, the world itself, was first created. And these stones were somehow part of that creation process. And so they were left behind, and the giants, Luez was their god, basically. And this shrine, if we go to the world map here, he mentioned in the monuments, Mount Ukarana, this immense monument plateau right at the end of the Utale Nation through the gorge. And so, when you leave the dutiful drink, you turn immediately north and set your sights on the horizon toward the monuments in the distance.
The kobold's not with us, right?
Kobold's with you.
Fuck.
He's with Rolland. He's following him very closely.
So, Jorma, do you even know what these weatherstones are? Your brother mentioned of.
Man, I'm not in the mood to talk to this fucking guy.
He's talking to you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep walking.
Well, that's yeesh. I turn my sights to Kev.
That's a mistake.
Kev, I think this is the first ever interaction you're gonna have with Brelikk. Brelikk, he would walk beside you and just kind of tap your shoulder.
Don't do that.
Your ring. It is missing a gemstone.
Yeah, I've been looking for it. Do you know where it is?
I
Never asked you that.
I do not know the exact specifics of the ring you currently carry, but its design is reminiscent of the Genasi work up in Heritage.
Nazi.
Kev, you...
I always thought Genie made it. But
you realize as
maybe
you
not.
you realize as you say that, Kev, the genies making their own prisons to you. Yeah, maybe it was short. Maybe it was a short-sighted assumption.
Huh. I never asked him.
But
Good to
Genie
know, though.
doesn't seem to know where it came from either. You've definitely realized that. So
Yeah.
When we get to Heritage, I can point you to the workshops the Genasi work at.
You hear that, Gene? We got a lead.
you can't hear him.
Mike just
But...
has to assume the genie hears him. Mike's just assuming.
He can hear me all the time. He hears everything outside the ring.
I
Come on.
fucking doubt that, you dumbass.
You go into the ring and he's hanging by a noose. No.
Oh god.
There's no lamppost in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why not a lamppost, Harry? Nooses are out of style.
That's true.
Not grimdark enough.
Not grimdark enough.
Isn't this a Grimdark campaign?
I love Grimdark.
I love your mom.
Okay.
The grim
Oh,
dark
nice one,
future.
Will.
We're gonna get swashbuckling real
There's
soon. I'm gonna
only
take a piss.
war.
though.
Alright, Pittsburgh.
Swashbuckling.
No!
Swashbuckling.
No!
Hold on.
Oh,
I hate
ho,
it.
ho, ho,
I hate it.
bye for me.
I hate swashbuckling.
Hope you guys enjoyed my TED talk.
That was dope.
And
How's that pop tart keeping you, Mike?
I already finished it.
Yeah, I know. Do you feel the energy coursing through your...
No.
I didn't do it for the country, brother. I did it for you.
And Jag, when you're in the ring, you could hear everything outside the ring.
The fuck out.
You just stop work. So unless Genie's ignoring me.
Kinda cringe, am I right, Mike?
but I doubt that.
Maybe it's like a one-way glass situation, Mike.
maybe
he
he
can
just
hear
maybe
every.
he just
He can
talks
hear
to you.
It is a
everything.
one-way. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
it's a
one-way.
one-way
He can-
thing. He can hear you from outside, but he can't speak back to you from inside the
it's-
ring.
Yeah.
Kind of strange, but oh well.
I can't wait to harass Jorma now that his brother's dead. This is gonna be a good day.
Man, I can't wait to learn about Kev's genie just not actually being a genie.
Nah, he's a genie for sure.
He's a genie.
He's
Where are those?
granted all
Heard
of
it
my
here
wishes.
first. Heard it here first.
How many wishes, Kev?
One, he gave me abilities. That's pretty cool for
Cool.
a genie.
What about that? What about that second and third wish, Kev? Gotta use them.
I'll do it at some point.
And you could end the war with one wish, Kev.
If only.
If only, man. If only.
Okay, so
And we're off.
Jorma, yeah, you're leading the way north. Through the
Does Jorma
monuments.
actually know how to get there? I'll ask him. Hey, Jorma, do you actually know how to get there, or should I lead?
Yes. Back to
Okay,
the
I'll
game.
lead.
What time is it, Harry? Like of day?
Yeah.
Make a nature check.
All right. Oops, 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 oops.
I actually always know the time of day.
Someone else make a
13.
nature check, just in
Slightly
case.
above average.
With the flashes of light, and the clouded sky, you have a hard time discerning any kind of difference in time.
Perhaps it would have been wise to bring more Utali with us.
Jack's like,
But-
fuck, I should have recruited NPCs. Fuck.
I suppose
You
that
also
time
didn't
has
rest.
passed. Correct.
From look back.
You
and-
guys are on a mission with Jorma right now. He is dragging you all along with no stops.
To be
Feel-
fair, honestly, the other Utale sort of like we're also looking after their own. What are we gonna take more, like people to like not watch over the wounded and whatnot?
Yeah. Yeah, realistically, it's like how many Utale in fighting condition are left.
Yeah. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us.
Pog?
Yeah, you step on back out into the rain. You're out there for a bit. You feel the bloody rain once again begin to tingle on your skin.
Oh, fun.
It's just a reminder of what's to come before you exit through the front gates of Fort Baeon.
I'm trudging.
All right, Jorma's going. You guys follow?
Yep.
All right. Back into the marshes.
So, how long are we going to be on foot for, Jorma?
I look back and I'm like, who are you?
Hi.
He just
Okay.
Omega-loled Kev. Jorma
don't-
just Omega-loled Kev.
Let me make this clear. I don't need any of you. I needed your friend, and that was all I needed.
Isn't that what your brother believed? He told you to leave this place. And now you have to clean up their mess. And you don't need any of us?
I don't.
Fascinating.
As Brelikk can tell you.
I didn't
Who's
want to
this guy?
interrupt.
What was that, Roland?
I said I didn't want to interrupt earlier, Jorma, but if your comrade found out a way to deal with the Necronimbus storms, this could be huge.
Ah, so Safeguard cares now, when there's something to gain from it.
I'm not Safeguard.
Yet you wear their armor. You wear their pennant.
Of
I'd
course
like to
I
call.
stand behind them.
I'd like to call bullshit on the "I'm not Safeguard" comment.
Wait, does Brelikk say that?
Are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
Are you fucking dense?
Oh no!
Out of character. I'll kill
No,
you.
oh,
Yeah.
Brelikk says that. Get fucked, Roland.
Roland's trying to kill the world.
Called me a fucking podunk.
I'm
Right,
sorry,
there's
your
no
ass
coming-
hurts.
there's
Did you
no
get
coming-
fucked?
There's no coming back from racism, Cannon. That's what cancel culture is all about.
True.
You have not proved.
Paladins are gonna be canceled on
You
Twitter
have
left, right,
not
and center
proved
these
me
days.
wrong. You have not proved me wrong in all your actions leading up to this moment so far, Cannon.
Blind?
You know,
Yeah.
Roland, in spite of
Cannon's
your
got to the
heroism-
camera on so you can see the full
My
reaction.
In spite of your heroism, Roland, Brelikk does bring up a point.
Khanek stuck in the
think the
fire.
fact-
Gaslight.
That I veered off course and came here.
Only because I veered first.
No, only because new information was found, which shows that my judgment is towards the good of the world, not towards following Safeguard to the letter of the law. You made a compelling argument, Brelikk. I made my own decisions. That's all there is to it. You can't see that, if nothing else speaks louder than my actions, then there's
That
nothing
is
else I can
one
do.
action. It is one action.
Very
It will take more.
Let me make something
Brelikk
clear.
is still, by the way, I'd like to point this out. Brelikk is still very much unaware of the situation in Heritage, by the way.
Brelikk, let me make something perfectly clear. I don't care about you.
made that
I don't
very
care
clear
about
from the
your
beginning.
opinion of. What I do care about is that the people who are fighting against us and our countries who should be allies are doing terrible things to this world. And I want to stop them. I think you want to stop them too. And I think that regardless of the rest of my actions, I have shown that always to be true.
We will see.
Khanek just giggling like a maniac in the sidelines of the conversation.
This does remind me,
Oh God.
Brelikk,
Uh-huh.
I did overhear some bad news about your homeland. It would seem the false prophet Maladar is the one who seeks to fight against the dead, and those who rebel against Maladar have co-opted the power of necromancy. Perhaps at a crossroads, we find ourselves between the interests of two parties.
This sounds like
Brelikk
This guy.
is silent. Normally he's stoic. His brow twitches for a moment, and he goes, "What?
Yes.
You're
you
telling
remember.
me that not only my country is divided, but that one side follows a spineless ruler and the other side has turned towards our greatest sin."
It would appear, in their desperation to overthrow Maladar themselves, they have.
When did you hear this?
From the ever so trustable people of the Utale.
This sounds like a
Kev
perfect
is laughing
opportunity
along.
for you to head back to your own homeland.
Damn, Jorma really wants you to leave. As you're all trudging through the marshes, just having this conversation.
Wait, what did Jorma say?
I said this is a perfect opportunity for you to head back to your own homeland.
No. I made a promise.
A
After
promise to
this
who?
promise is fulfilled,
To who?
your brother.
Yes, my brother. You've made a promise to.
To save the world, co-opted in a situation in which we have 3 people who think they're the man who can single-handedly change the course of history. Captain Zorn, Brelikk, the original selected chieftain, and Jorma, last son of the Utale.
Yo, we got
Each and
3
every
main
one of you
characters in here right now.
have your own egos to fulfill.
This is nothing about ego.
I do
And
not
yet
wish
you
strategy.
seek to push people away.
Because if you do not fight as one, then you will die. I would rather have an army of just myself. The Utale have always fought together. I'm with a party who cannot get on the same page. Brelikk is fighting with Captain Rolland. My original party was always fighting, and never cohesion. There was no cohesion. The Utale fought together. Safeguard, you would think, would fight together, yet they did not. And where are we now? This world is in shambles. I'm here to protect the one nation, the one people who stayed together, who fought together. Heritage is split in 2 now. My people may be gone, but we always fought together. You guys are fighting amongst yourselves, yet you say you have the same goal? I don't care about your promises, Brelikk. You have flip-flopped since the day I've met you. Going with the wind. You make no decisions for yourself. Rolland does not make decisions for himself.
Roland's laughing. He's like, wait.
Now, if you are coming with me, then I hope you're ready to die, because if you are, we're going into this and you guys are clearly not on the same page. So get on the same page, get on my page, or get the hell out of the way.
Well,
Fopa raises his
Roland.
hand.
Jorma spitting bars. What?
Brelikk.
Oh, I do not
Shame,
want that.
Brelikk, shame.
Kobold, I do not want that kobold speaking. Anyway,
Fopa's raising his
Khanek,
hand.
continue. Khanek.
And you, I don't even know what you are.
Rue.
The kobold gestures to himself. Fopa!
Alex puts his hand over his mouth.
Oh, over the kobold.
Yeah, over
Papa!
Captain's mouth.
Fopa!
A fucking Pokemon?
Dormal looks expectingly at Brelikk and at Rolland. So what is it going to be, gentlemen?
Brelikk, I'll turn to look at him. If you can just recognize that even though I've had different methods than you in the past, that we're on the same team at least, that I'm fine to move forward.
I can understand that. If you're willing to at least hear me out every now and then, we can come to an understanding, hopefully, and move forward from this.
I stick out my hand and I'll say, my door is always open,
What's happening?
metaphorically.
Oh no! My Discord! No! What's happening? Fuck!
Brelikk just wanted someone to listen the whole time.
Matt! No.
What a loser.
Matt. No.
Dun, dun, dun.
Jorma bringing the party together.
Hello?
Hello, Matt.
Hello?
Wait, hold on.
Matthew.
My Discord chat out real quick.
All good.
I've kind of just been like hovering this whole time, but as soon as that ends, I kind of float on top of Aelix.
We're gonna keep playing on my phone until for like a few minutes.
Yeah, sure. That's a
Did
roll.
you- Did you?
Yeah, I heard what you said. Hans said, like, reached out his hand for like a handshake and was like, my door is always open, metaphorically.
Yeah. I would
It's metaphorical.
I
It's a Calcite name.
clasped Roland's hand in the handshake.
And Jorma, you're kind of standing between the two in the background, watching them shake hands.
Mm-hmm.
Seems as though they're on the same page. For now.
Kill Brelikk.
God.
Level 6 Divine Smite.
I wonder who would win in a fight
Yeah, that would be
between
interesting
you
to see.
three big men who all think they're the guy.
I feel like you started that sentence as Jack and you ended it as Khanek.
I agree.
You're like, yeah, this is in character. Okay.
They all think they're the guy, Harry.
Are we good now?
I mean, I think so. I've always been on the side of good, in my opinion.
I'm sure you have.
And Jorma turns around and keeps going.
Then let's go.
And you
Very
continue.
well. Time to end the Necronimbus storms.
Yeah. But
When
before all that,
the Seraph will be so proud. He'll be like, Roland, you did it. You ended the Necronimbus storms, Roland.
If we ever talk to the
Why-
Seraph again,
no,
we're
if
gonna
I
get
go
John
back,
to
he's gonna
test
be like,
roleplay this
Roland.
once.
Why didn't you go to Heritage? I solved the Necronimbus storms. No!
you don't imagine yourself returning to Safeguard like after this journey, Roland.
Yeah, Safeguard's gonna be exploded before we can get back there.
Well, in that way, you feel as though with the mission not being fulfilled, that yeah, they would probably have something to say about that.
Utah.
Oh, Utah moment.
We've been pretty good on
There's no
Utah
part-
moments lately. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lie.
yeah.
We haven't had that many. This
Is the fact that you basically putting all the bet on these tablets and the journey ahead, and so they would probably have something to say about you coming back without having gone to Heritage.
Roland,
But anyway,
you failed, Roland.
you all continue to trudge through the marshes following Jorma, and
Quite exhausting.
not in this climate, Jack. If we were Bedlam, though.
Poggers, no punish.
But
But
there is a. Wish you could target multiple people.
You not select all of our tokens?
I can, but then. Oh, hang on. I can. Maybe this is the same thing.
Hey!
Are you watching me do this? Oh,
Yeah. There's a little dot that appears on top of each of us.
This might be the way to do it. It
Do
takes
we all take the
you 2 hours to get to the...
Because I'm the only free will.
Right.
I'm the greatest good you're ever gonna get.
I'm the greatest good you were
get.
ever gonna get.
Okay, and then
Tell me what my suit is,
Apply.
woman.
apply.
We're talking about the greater good.
The fuck? MIDI just does not let you do anything. Holy fuck. Alright, we're gonna untarget Khanek. We're gonna target everyone else. There we go. You ain't never gonna forget, and neither will you, counselor. So, yeah, this bloody rain from the storms above, necrotic, tingling your skin to the point in which it is stinging it once more. You feel as though with proper time and rest taken within shelter outside the storm, that these effects have been mitigated. As in, the longer you stay outside, the worse it is. But it can kind of be reset by taking shelter. Jorma, you reach... You're eventually passing... You begin to start passing these large monuments and rock formations. And you reach basically what seems like the edge of the bog as you begin to step out of the decaying sludge and onto dry, cracked land. And you watch as the bloody rain falls onto the land and trickling down into the cracks. It feels very good to be on solid ground, more or less. And you continue leading everyone at a much brisker pace this time, now that you're out of the marsh. And, the monuments that were kind of in the distance before are now close by. And as you continue further in, they close in on you until eventually you're walking exclusively, basically, between these large sheer cliffs flanked on either side of you. They're stained red by the storm. You continue through the gorge for another 2 hours.
Are we still getting pelted by the rain, or because of the mountains? Like, we're only getting pelted by some of it?
Let's say it depends on how you'd like to go forward. If you want to... I would say that there's no, like, direct overhangs to keep you from being hit by rain. But if you'd like to kind of try to progress, say with a dex save,
Dex, fuck.
you could probably, we'll say DC 14, you could like tread more carefully.
Hey, Harry.
Yeah.
I should have asked this way earlier. Can I hold my shield up above me like an umbrella and
No.
use this extend feature to possibly like cover
Oh,
more
you-
like
Dude,
you
like
are
one
tall
other person?
now.
Yeah, you could do that for sure.
Who's
It's
who's
a
like
big shield.
Trying to cuddle?
Who? Good God. Who's got like some of the lowest HP? So Jorma, Roland,
Football!
and Kev. Fucking forgot about that thing. Oh, God.
I
How
imagine
many?
Aelix would be shielding Kev.
Okay. I would probably hand off my shield to.
Ooh, that's a chunker.
I'll hand it off to
Ooh,
Roland
that stings.
and say,
Dog.
hopefully this helps get someone else under there. I should be okay for the time being.
Sure. Take it from him.
You like with the shield, you could probably fit one or two more people under there.
All right.
If Harry allows two other people to be great, but probably just one other person can sit
Maybe
under
one
there.
other person in the kobold, you know?
One and the kobold
Yeah.
would be allowed.
We'll do that.
Get Khanek. I just looked at Khanek's HP.
Your
Wait.
bandages look a
Get
little
bandages. Oh God.
choked. Would you like to come under the shield?
I walk under the shield.
Very good.
And you can hear the patter of the rain.
I'll say the kobold's in front of me. Khanek's behind me.
And Khanek steps under the shield, and out of the rain you can see he's almost like sizzling, like a little bit of like steam almost coming off the top of him, and a little sizzling sound as he dries off.
Lava sound.
Oh my God. Vopa actually is kind of low. Holy shit. Ugh.
And you continue with this new found shelter for some of you, mobile. Brelikk just kind of pulls out a shield and it extends just straight out in front of him for like another 5 feet. And
Whoa.
you've never seen him do this before, but it's pretty cool.
I thought Jorma was small and fragile.
I'm tall but thin.
No, this is Brelick's shield.
Oh,
Yeah. Did I say Jorma? I might have.
I don't know.
Anyway, as you continue through the gorge, it's hard to make out, but you begin to see markings on the cliffs as you go. They're very large markings, like you didn't notice them at first because of their magnitude, but you start to realize through the storm that it's kind of drowned them out a little bit, but you start to make out a pattern, and this pattern is just all along the walls. It's on the right wall, it's on the left wall. It wasn't there before, but now it is. And it's repeating, seems like. And these markings look to be symbols. Shapes. Very large shapes. Let's see here. Etched into the stone. From left
no,
to
is this
right.
a puzzle?
You
No.
see
No. A puzzle.
a fair number
Fuck me.
of
Circles and squares and rectangles.
Circle goes in the That's
That's
right.
right,
The,
the
square hole.
John said the same fucking thing, bro. It
Fuck.
seems to
Is the
begin.
puzzle that I've been hearing about?
Yo, is this the puzzle?
No.
That was me.
Hey,
when I
and this
puzzled.
isn't a puzzle you talked about in the puzzle. Fuck.
It starts
There's
with
nothing
two
more player hate
circles
than a puzzle.
stacked on two rectangles. And
Then the rectangles go together,
The
and then the
rectangles
circles start to morph into each other.
collide.
Then
the
then the
circles
rectangle
collide.
then the rectangles become a square, and then the circle becomes one, and then the circle enters the box.
You're not really sure what it means. But Brelikk, if you'd like to make, actually,
Me?
if anyone would like
Someone
to
else.
make a religion, history, or nature check, they can do
I
that.
love religion.
I'll make a religion check. Hell yeah! Someone else make a check though, please.
I will make a religion check.
What
knows
kind of
Religion.
like, dick and balls, Harry?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like two balls.
dick and
a
balls,
shaft, you know.
Batman.
Religion.
A lot of religion enjoyers.
Oh yeah, you know me. Wait, the circle does go in the square hole.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. I thought maybe at first it's like, I don't know,
Does it
some
mean
weird. I was thinking fusion or something. It's kind of what it looks like,
Is
but
this Yu-Gi-Oh?
then it's the fucking confused. What, we smashed the fused person's head into their fucking body?
Oh, that was just for fun, you know?
You feel like it's an abstraction.
It's metaphorical.
It's a red herring.
Metaphorical. Kev. Historically speaking, you know, of course, being a
Of course.
well-learned man and pretty reading some books, maybe. You. Well, you know for sure that, like, these symbols are just big, you know, like, that's your first takeaway. In that they don't look like they were made by anything your size. But maybe something bigger. And then you think of giants. And you remember, like Jorma did before, that the Utale were once in tribes with giants. And when you look at these symbols, it would appear that these are... They almost look like astrological or astronomical. No, astrological, like, observations is what they almost look like to you. Their interpretation of it, at least. Brelikk.
Right.
C.
You look, you know, from left to right, and as you're following it, one of the symbols in particular catches your eye. It looks like how the tablets look back when you had all three of them. The circles crossing each
Oh
other.
no.
It reminds you of that. But at the same time, from what you know in Arc 1, or from Arc 1, when you, when did you find out about it? Somewhere on the way in Arc 1, the two separate worlds coming together for the Cataclysm.
I think we learned in Gale when I read those books, so maybe in Arc 2.
Yeah.
Would it have been? No, never mind.
Remember, I kept trying to go to the bookstore?
Yeah, yeah.
And those fucking assholes were there.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you cackle at that, you motherfucker.
I remember.
The
Yeah,
bookstore.
I remember too. Fucking librarians.
you
Of course I know him. He's me.
it seems like whatever's happening from left to right here is like a progression,
Yeah.
and that from what you know about the Cataclysm, it was the merging of two worlds, and that you feel like that's what's happening here with the circles. You're not exactly sure what the squares are, or the rectangles, and what's
Planes of
happening at the end there.
existence.
Khanek. As you're looking this over with religion as well, something about this definitely echoes the Cataclysm. You get that overall impression as well. When you look at the rectangles with the interest that you took and the mental notes that you took in Bedlam, that these two worlds that existed before were representative of two beings. And you feel as though these rectangles are somehow an abstraction of them. But like the worlds they combined, this is something that is strange to you. You're not really sure what's happening at the end. So in total, we got the two worlds of Salus and Luez, and then we have the two gods of Salus and Luez, and it looks like in both cases, they're merging together. You're not really, like, there's a word for the world that you're on right now. It's the world of Bedlam. Salus and Luez came together, and then you got the world of Bedlam. Salus and Luez came together as gods, and there's nothing that you're aware of, no label to represent their merging. So feels like there's some information missing here. Some context.
Primordi? No.
Is this a thought Brelikk has? It's like, no, couldn't be.
I was thinking the primordials, maybe.
Say Khanek and well, ugh. Yeah, each Khanek and Brelikk, you can make history checks if you want. This is more of a history thing. Ooh.
Damn, Khanek.
Okay.
They
So
know the future and the past.
Khanek, as if searching the mind of another being that you once piloted. You flip back through your mind of all the ancient texts and anything giant related that you can recall, anything religious, and you stop in your head when you remember a story, folk story, you could call it, what do you call those? Origin tales of,
Cosmology.
yeah, cosmology, of where conflict comes from within people. What is the root of all conflict? Or where does it come from in general? And you recall the story of a being who the story refers to it as a singular thing. It refers to it by the label of the warmonger. And that this being is somehow responsible for the collision of these two worlds. And that is where the world of Bedlam came from, as well as the gods who this being supposedly drove basically to madness, into goading them into the conflict that they found themselves in, and eventually merging into something more thereafter. But you
I think this puzzle depicts the story of conflict. The cosmology of the
Baeon.
unison between gods. This world Salas and Luez created arises from the warmonger, that in which he caused the unison and collision of this world. How to solve this puzzle? I don't know.
They just look to be markings on a wall, like as you're passing.
Perhaps
through
I'm
the gorge.
overthinking this.
It looks almost to be just like almost like cave paintings, you could call them. There's
This
no.
is fascinating. And I write it down in my notebook.
Okay.
Ormo will kind of speak up and be like, this could be nonsense. Kids used to come up here back in the day.
Oh, but Jorma, you arise from an ancient people. Don't call their paintings nonsense so quickly.
I kind of look towards Brelikk and be like, do you travel with this guy all the time? What does he bring to your group? I hadn't known any better. I think he's a serial killer. No,
A serial killer.
I kind of just. I'll leave that one float to to Brelikk and Rolland. Maybe consider who they're traveling with this psychopath.
Yeah. I don't know how I honestly have no idea how Brelikk would like. To be honest, like Braylick's opinion of Khanek is very, you know,
The most
like,
Matt thing of all time.
yeah. Shut up.
Ganon does like slight thing is this evil. Khanek rambling about all this nonsense and evil laughing. Seems
He's a
pretty chill.
visionary, an artist.
He's an artist. He's just misunderstood.
Braylick's honest opinion of Khanek would probably just be that he's extreme, but at least he's honest.
He's a good guy.
Is he honest? I feel like Khanek never actually answers any pointed. You never point a question at him. He always answers with a non-question or another question. He never gives you any straight answers.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, because he's gay.
It's all right. I'll address that more as on along our quest.
Listen, Braylick sort of just went through it with Rolland. He's just like, do I really want to start shit with another party member right now? I'm like, I don't know, man. You just said we have to get on the same page.
It's all right. Well, sometimes you have to tear a page out of the book.
Oh my god.
Drummer's like, fuck that page, new page, get on it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
As you mull over this strange iconography, it eventually the pattern leads you all into a wider section of the gorge, and it continues as you can see further down, all throughout this this place. As you see, it looks to be like a place that held significance at some point in time, as there are rock formations kind of jutting out of the cliffs. Some large, some small, some damaged. Some are completely destroyed by the storm, just a pile of rubble on the ground. Or perhaps it was destroyed before then. You're not sure. But all of these formations within this gorge, this section of the gorge you now find yourselves in, look to be similar in how they're shaped, with markings on each formation. They look almost like scriptures. In a language that you may or may not understand. So now instead of shapes, it looks like there's writing on some of these formations that are kind of disconnected from the cliffs themselves. It almost looks like a site of some sort. The ground here, through the cracks, there's like a necrotic energy that is oozing out of the earth in like light, like pulsating from beneath the ground. If anyone would like to make a history or nature check.
I've exhausted my historical knowledge.
Depends, yeah, what you want to be looking at. Or for.
Unfortunately, both of my characters are not good with history, religion, or knowledge, or nature. Yes, Jordan's not bad.
Kev.
Kev.
Oh wait, never mind. Jordan was good with nature. I'm proficient. Sorry,
Jorma.
Kev.
So, history. Kev, you recognize the language of giant, but do you read it?
I certainly try.
I mean, like, do you know the language?
Let's
You
see.
can certainly.
I
try.
know giant, Mike.
I know Orin and Common. Who know?
So you can identify that it's giant. Beyond that, you don't know any giant.
Hey, are any of you giants?
You skipped.
I kind of
that
look past
class.
them and go. It says, what does it say here?
You ditched that day in school. You're looking at it?
Yeah, I kind of like look past them and I go, it says, and then insert what it says.
Oh, yeah.
I see this guy struggling with it.
So yeah, you walk over to Kev. You see him kind of like eyeballing the stone, and then you kind of look at the stone that he's eyeballing, and you read Xus, the Imminent. May he achieve his
read that out loud.
aspirations.
Do I know who this is?
You have no idea who this is.
Well, I just read out loud and as confused as before.
You realize that there are other stones with similar writings throughout the yard. As you walk through, you see Bilthos the Fatal. Death finally found him.
Looks like a graveyard. Be on your toes. We know undead are in these areas.
And you make this connection, and you realize that these rock formations are in fact just carved headstones of some sort. You know, they look very primitive.
Utah.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Sounds,
Fuck you. Yeah.
we got it.
You powered through it.
Carved, yeah. Very, very primitive headstones. That's why they weren't immediately recognizable. But as you read, the final name, you feel as the ground begins to tremor. Not continuously, but in quick bursts. Like a... and rocks from either on top of the cliff, hanging on the cliff, beside the cliff, they begin to tumble down from above. Nothing near you that you would need to move out of the way for. And then one very loud crunch as a massive
The cold
arm
was smashed.
breaks through the cracked ground further
It's a
into
giant.
the gorge.
It's an evil giant.
And it sends a shockwave throughout the crumbling ground you find yourselves on. Everyone make dex saves. I'll make one for Rolland.
Fuck yeah. Let's go. I'm unstoppable, baby.
Where is Vopa? North Gate. Ooh. Hey. So Rolland and Alex, you would both kind of lose your balance a little bit. You catch yourselves on something, but you find yourself unsteady as
This damn shield.
this thing knocks you off balance completely.
You're like, sabotage me.
Everyone else is able to stand strong. It's very surprising, but you're able to keep yourselves upright. And another arm of bone and sinew reaches out towards the red sky above and then brings it down onto the ground and kind of grasps at the earth before it. It rises out of the ground below. The dirt and soot falling, tumbling off of its body, showing the ribs and many other unsightly things that you should not see a living thing exposed in a living thing. It is entirely of bone and sinew, almost like flesh that was created by this storm and then breathed life into this disgusting creature. Its body cracks, adjusting into place as it stands into its full posture, and it adjusts its neck with a snap to look down at you all. And it lets out a harrowing groan as the red storm looms over its eyes.
Turn on dead. Turn on dead. Turn on.
I think it might be
It's a
past my challenge
necro
rating.
And
Giant.
Not gonna lie. You think that thing's challenge rating
Necronimbus
2?
giant.
2, Matt? You think that thing's challenge rating 2?
Make it run away like a bitch while we attack it. I don't know, man.
I could, but once you attack it, it runs back. So
Fuck.
it lasts until it's hit. But I also used that already today, so
Upcast turn undead. Nah,
I don't have that.
drag you guys on.
that'd be funny if you could. Oh well. Fuck.
Where are you?
Oh my god, no!
Where
It's
are you?
I'm so sorry.
Ah.
Rolland?
wow. I see we have a small battle
Khanek?
map. Fuck.
Brelikk.
Oh
Mike.
god.
Oh, hang on. Put Mike at the front. Well,
That's not intimidating
sure.
at all.
And wait for it.
No.
Wait for it. Vopa.
Ah.
It's a Necronimbus giant.
Oh, that shouldn't be.
Vopa,
that shouldn't
you're
be-
going in
that
first.
shouldn't be
You
Vopa's
got
help.
this.
They call me Vopa. That's not mine.
Vopa has like 24 HP. There we go. All right.
I wish we got a short rest before this. Fuck. Well, I guess I'll be soaking the damage, gentlemen. Again.
Don't worry, I got some heals for you.
Hope so. Fuck.
Escalators, escalators, escalators.
That's a big fellow right there. That's whew.
Let's see here. There's a lot of different.
I take my shield back.
We could cliffhanger it here with it bursting out of the ground and everyone rolling initiative, or we go through with it. I
I think we cliffhanger.
I think we cliffhanger. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think a cliffhanger is
I gotta be at the
a
office.
way.
I gotta be up at like 6:30 to get to the office.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Ooh, big working
Get
man.
up,
Or I got
Sally,
7.
man.
Sorry.
All right, then that's
I wouldn't have to if these guys didn't schedule East Coast call.
cringe.
Coast, baby.
Cringe. Yeah. So the
Thank you,
session
audience.
ends with this massive undead behemoth erupting from the earth down the gorge in front of you within this giant graveyard on the journey about halfway between Fort Baeon and the peak of Mount Ukarana.
Well, fuck.
Just let that music trail out.
Well,
man.
shit. Well, fuck. Well, this is bad, guys. This is bad news.
I'm-
Guys are. This is hard. These things are. This is bad news, guys.
Yeah, I'd rather have
Very,
one
very
big
happy
enemy.
that
And
very
all
happy
this
that I
noise.
have the Corpse Slayer longsword right now for
Aren't you
this.
glad you bought that? But the Necronimbus storms and this shit. This is kind of. This is a very tough enemy, guys. Storms and Necronimbuses and shit. Yeah, this is bad shit, guys. Bad shit.
Coming after you, Khanek.
That's some bad shit right there, bro. I don't know about that.
Zach smoking weed for the first. That's bad shit.
Not cool, bro. I don't think that's a good idea for us to get fucked by this thing. They told me
This
I was
is. Well, fuck.
a giant undead thing. Oh fuck.
Oh, there it is. I can add lightning. There we go. Oh, it's kind of... Doesn't increasing the period make it happen less frequently? I'm confused. Save. Cool.
Cool.
Well, that's all she wrote, guys. Thanks for playing tonight.
You're welcome.
Damn,
Good
that's
stash.
that's crazy. Fuck.
Giant undead.
Seth Rogen laugh, be like,
We're gonna get fucked.
we're so fucking dead, man.
Game over, man.
Alright, I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you guys
Peace,
Wow,
Mike.
good night, Mike.
Thanks for playing.
Goodbye, Michael.
Good night, Mike.
later.
Let's just close
Later.
that music.
Bro. Hell, frick yeah, later, bro.
Frick yeah, dude. Frick yeah.
By the end of this campaign, Khanek will be so psychotic he won't even be responding to characters anymore. He'll just be responding to himself.
He'll be having conversations with characters that are
Thank
dead.
God.
Oh, Jorma. Ah.
You're such a jokester.
Why so serious, Jorma?
Why so serious? Anyway, I'm probably gonna head off to bed too now.
Alright, dudes. Thanks for
Good
playing.
night, gentlemen.
Night, dude. We will end the stream there, I think. Thanks to everybody for watching. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, with more Tragedy of